Welcome to Rewatch. We're talking about droids. For me, it's the second time because there is no such thing as privacy. You ask for like just 5 minutes, and no one can give you 5 minutes. Yet they give you hours when you're not recording. All right. Anyway, I digress. Talking about droids, I am very excited. This is episode 1, The White Witch. Basically, Anthony Daniels comes back. He voices C-3PO, which is great. And especially since he's red hot off the movies, you'd think he'd want to go make a big name for himself as an actor somewhere else. I mean, all the other actors tried that. But Anthony Daniels wanted to stay true to the character. He wanted to continue being, he was happy. He's always been happy playing C-3PO. And even if it's for a kiddie cartoon, he'll do it. And that's great. And it adds something special to this cartoon series because it is just for kids. It is a little kiddie. The humor is definitely for kids. But that Anthony Daniels lends his voice gives it a lot of credibility, in my opinion. Also, I do want to mention the theme song is awesome. I can't remember who it was. Someone from The Police, not Sting, wrote it, and it's awesome. It rocks today. It definitely would have rocked in the 80s. But it really is a good theme song that I never fast forward through. I always listen to because it's awesome. I probably out of all the theme music for any TV show, that's my favorite. The Droids one is my favorite. All right. So anyway, what happens here? Well, R2-D2 and C-3PO get dumped out of a ship because smugglers are invading them. And we're told canonically through the Legends canon that Captain Antilles, this takes place 2 years after Revenge of the Sith, Captain Antilles was being raided, and he, just for their safety, he dumped the droids off. Later on, he would find them, I guess. But right now, they've been dumped off, and that's where they start off. That's where we see our heroes, R2-D2, C-3PO. I think the Droids comic book, in my opinion, both for the cartoon and the one written later on in the 90s, would have also happened. Like the Droids just had many misadventures before getting back with Captain Antilles, like some 18 years later, I would say. But even though that story was never told, I would have loved to have had it told before. Another missed opportunity from the EU. Anyway, I really digress here because they come across new owners, Thal and Jord. They both have these space age haircuts. Jord has basically a mohawk. Thal has half of his head shaved. The other half is a big ponytail or whatnot. The Mohawks were big in the 80s, and they were trying to do some kind of space 80s thing. I'm fine with that. And immediately, by the way, the White Witch is their speed racer that they want to race at the big race. That's what they're trying to get to in this 4 cartoon story arc. Yes, these things had story arcs, which is amazing for something that was done back in 1985. But the droids automatically accept them as their new masters. They meet Kay, who is a girl. I don't know if she's human. I think she has like a skunk head. I don't know if that's her real hair or if she's meant to be an alien. Either way, it's basically just introducing a bunch of the characters. Tig From is the son of the notorious gangster we hear about, Size From. You don't see him in this episode, but Tig From is the son, and he's supposed to be super menacing. And he's trying to build a name for himself. Of course, the droids, with the help of the gang and the droids, they're going to disrupt his plans and really embarrass him, which will lead him to pursue them through the next few episodes. But basically, Thal carries a lightsaber with him. Only in the first episode do we ever see this. He uses it to open a door, and it doesn't look, the way he handles it makes me think he's not used to having a lightsaber. Now, they don't mention where he got the lightsaber. I don't think he was a Jedi, but was his father a Jedi in hiding? I mean, there's a lot of mysteries that other TV shows or basically the EU in general could have done. They could have made it. They could have made stories around these characters and these happenings that would have enriched the cartoon. Also, Size From. Wouldn't it have been great to see him in like a Clone Wars episode where he's an up-and-coming crime lord with a little kid called Tiggy. By the way, Tig's friend Blix, I think is his name, keeps calling him Tiggy, and you'll see this throughout the first 4 episodes. Tig's like, I hate that. I told you, don't call me Tiggy. It's supposed to be funny. It's not funny now. It wasn't funny back then. The other thing I noticed is 3PO is a lot braver in these episodes. He's more like the 3PO that we see from the Droids comic books. Instead of um, these other Clone War shows. He's really done as a scaredy cat the whole time. And no, 3PO is not brave, but he does pick up for his friend R2. He does talk his way out of situations before. 3PO shows a little bit more guts than what he has in other iterations of his character. And I like that. I like this type of 3PO. Now, overall, I'm just focusing on season 1. There's a lot to enjoy with the Droids cartoon series. Is it the best thing ever? No. But this is definitely one that was made for kids, marketed to kids instinctively. So I'm going to grade it on a kid level and say I enjoyed The White Witch. Great intro, great start to this new world, this new adventure that I'm going to see R2-D2 and C-3PO embark upon. But what did you think of episode 1, The White Witch? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time on Rewatch.